Hello everyone, welcome to Anyone Can Code. If you are here for the first time, please subscribe my channel for latest updated videos. If you feel the content is relevant, please share with your friends and family members. And any specific topic that you want me to cover, please leave a comment. With that saying, we are going to start the today's topic. Today's topic that we are going to discuss is one of the most happening thing in the market and most happening buzzwords you might come across from various sources including internet, from WhatsApp groups and newspaper. Probably if you look at the news, right, if you are venturing into software development, or if your family or family members or your friends who are working in the software industry, they might use this word frequently, especially the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, so and if you look at the paper also, there might be a lot of things which are happening. There's a lot of job cuts which are happened just because of the AI and ML adoption. Recently, some company laid off these many number of employees because of the AI adoption and things like that. And is it really worth investing your time and money in the year of 2025 and join as a engineering graduate, especially into computer science engineering, by adapting the artificial intelligence and machine learning? So as it is a very happening word in the market, so colleges are opened the courses in artificial and in artificial intelligence and machine learning, and most of the students are very much interested towards join in artificial intelligence and machine learning, just because if you learn this skill, you are going to get the job for sure. Is it that true or not? And in this session, or in this particular video, from my experience, I would like to give some sort of thoughts, suggestions, and what probably you can expect during the course of 4 years. Right, your course is 4 years. I will try to draft a 4 year outline plan for you, so that if you can start prepare in such a way, after 4 years you are going to be the industry ready by the time, right? So by keeping it that in my mind, so I prepared some slides. This video probably little a stretch video, as I need to give as much as possible information for the audience. So please try to be patient, but definitely it is going to be one of the worth video. Okay, so till the end I will suggest some of the technical tools, what are the programming languages that you can focus on, what are the freely available, it can be tools or it can be sources which are available in the market in order to become a pro in software engineering especially. I'm proudly say I'm a software engineering because I am making the human's life pretty easy. But at what extent, we will see with the adoption of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, so let me pull up the content. Okay, so just hold on for a second. So in this video, probably if you look at the screen, right, so what is the modern software engineering will look like, and I will give you suggest you the 4 year career roadmap. So what are the things that you can start learning from your first year till fourth year, so that you are going to be the industry ready. Okay, so the first thing is basically, if you look at, right, um, as there is a famous statement which is given by Albert Einstein, that is every gift of science is evil if you are not using it correctly, right? So with that statement, even artificial intelligence and machine learning is also the same thing. If you are using AI for good thing, you will get the good result. If you use the AI for the bad things, then you are going to be end up with a lot of problems, right? So the actual intent of the electricity to run lot of machines, motors, and everything. But if you apply the same electricity to a human being, that person is going to be died, right? So the same thing, for that matter, any invention that you take, suppose example, if you take a phone which has a lot of benefits if you are using it rightly, right? If you're not using it rightly, if you're whole day and night, if you're spending with some other activities like Instagram or some other nonsense videos, if you're looking at, probably that might be end up your time, and it's not going to be give you any result for that matter. Okay, so now I would like to show you some sort of interesting updates regarding how many number of software developers they are there, right? So if you look at these numbers, uh, across the globe we have 26.9 million developers who are working in software industry. This statistics especially till 2022, but probably down the line last 3 years the number got increased like anything due to pandemic, covid and other stuff. So it is reached up to 30 million developers are currently working. So I am one of the developer, so I am proud to say I am a software engineering and a software engineer, where I am making the people's life pretty easy, right? And at the same time, now it is 2025, roughly the expected the developers count is 30 million developers, right? So what exactly this is indicating, how does it really matters with artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? Even is our country India is also trying to put the efforts towards adapting the artificial intelligence and machine learning, whereas the other countries like US, China and other countries, they are the forerunner in adapting the AI and ML. But we are trying to reach that point, but definitely we are going to reach the point where our software industry is going to be contribute especially the 45% into artificial intelligence and machine learning. And our revenue right now, the India software industry revenue is towards especially into the services model. It means uh, most of the software employees who are working from India, so they work for the clients, right? But and using artificial intelligence, probably by 2028, the revenue which is generated by AI and ML project, it is going to be 3.5 billion. And lot of companies are trying to adapt. It is down the line next 5 years, most of the companies, especially 65% of the companies which are running, so they are ready to adapt the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and they have a plan to run the complete their applications in uh, cloud basically. uh, as it is, if you are pursuing the engineering, right? So the terms whatever I am using, so those might be little tricky to understand, but slowly there are definitely making sense once you started learning, or once you uh, progressing your engineering. And we'll try to look at a few of the interesting numbers. Okay, so these are the software adoption by region. So if you look at North America, is already adopted widely. 46% of the companies are using AI and ML. Even Europe countries are they started adopting rapidly. Asia and specific, if you look at, only 18% of the AI and ML adoption was there. So if you look at, right, so there is one thing for sure, the developers are not going to be replaced by the artificial intelligence and machine learning. There is a myth. So what the statement I would like to strongly say is, the founder of the Microsoft, Bill Gates, made the statement, even after 100 years the software developer role still remains, and you are going to find the jobs as a software developers for sure. So AI is not going to be replace the software engineers, right? So that human touch decision making is still lies with the developers. Developers are going to use the AI and ML for sure for their productivity and other things, but developers will still there even after 100 years. Okay, and so what really happens in the market? So what happens and what are the different areas which are impacted with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So no matter what the domain is, like example, your Netflix recommendations, YouTube recommendations, and if you look at any e-commerce site, if you purchase a particular product today, from tomorrow onwards, most of the relevant products are going to be shown, including in your Google search, YouTube, Shorts, and everywhere. So it is clearly indicating all these things are interrelated, and all the statistics derived with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning. E-commerce, and I really not restricted AI and ML adoption, not specific to a particular domain per se. So across all the domains, including your banking and finance, in your healthcare especially, if I just simply give the reports of a particular patient, it will look at the reports, did some diagnosis, and probable outcomes will be generated, right? So with the growing population, like example, even in India, if you look at, there are 140 crore people are there. So, and if you look at the doctor ratio per person, it is very high, right? So we need to adapt artificial intelligence and machine learning, or we need to get the advanced technology to diagnose as the patient information, or it can be to provide the efficient service to the customer, right? So these many number of people are there. The banks, if they really want to process the account numbers per person by cash and by account number, if you want me, if you wish to go to bank, and the banks has to serve your purpose, write a slip and get the token, standing in the line, get the amount, it is very tedious process with the amount of growing people. So then definitely we need some or the other systems or sophisticated systems which should serve the purpose of the people. So that's where technology is evolving day by day rapidly, at the same pace how the globe is changing with the people, right? So even in education system also, artificial intelligence and machine learning or the technology is going to play a critical role. And right, where exactly, suppose example, if you are sitting um, anywhere and you are listening this video, and I am sitting somewhere, I am trying to dictate something from here, and after some time probably you might use this video for learning purpose. It can be I mean, this content or this type of content is available across the market from multiple places. So I can use artificial intelligence and machine learning to get some thought process, or which is the best video, or I can trim this particular video, I can extract the content to analysis the data or the interests of the people, right? So these are the various use cases where you can fit the AI and ML and the technology. And this session, I'm not restricting only the artificial intelligence and machine learning. For that matter, if you are really keen towards the software engineering and if you want to become a good developer, probably the session or the inputs or the tools and technology, whatever I'm going to discuss today, those are really helpful for sure. Okay. And if you look at in the market, the most happening buzzwords are generative AI and edge AI, AI powered automation, or um, quantum computing, cloud computing, microservices. These are the data analysis, data engineering, data scientist. These are the various roles, right? So software development is not only writing some sort of code using a particular programming language. There are n number of divisions, various roles, and various responsibilities. Based on your interest, you can choose, but irrespective of the domain, the respective or the corresponding tools are there. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is there to improve the productivity of the software engineers as well as the end customers as well. Okay, don't look at it is going to help only end customers. It is going to help you the developers as well, right? So across all the industry, AI and ML is going to be adapted, right? Okay. So how AI ML is helping in software development. Even being a software engineer or developer, I am using AI tools. I am relying on AI tools for my productivity, right? So for the developer efficiency productivity purpose, we can use AI ML, example GitHub Copilot, or you can use ChatGPT, right? So I think this video is intended for the Gen Z kids. They might even sharp and smarter than me, so they might already used good amount of AI tools in their experience. But this is from the not from the end user perspective. This is from the developer perspective, right? So if you want to become a software engineer, what sort of AI capabilities that you are going to build to make the uh, individuals or the group of people's life made easy, right? So, and one more thing is, even if you look at the industry, 40% of the new applications, right? The existing applications, forget about it. But if you are trying to build a new applications, 40% of the applications which are using AI and ML a lot, right? As I already mentioned, in my coding or for my productivity, I am using AI a lot, right? So even India is encouraging all the India-based companies to adapt artificial intelligence and machine learning. Down the line, next 5 years, most of the software developers who are currently working, they are going to upskill to AI and ML, and especially for the people who are doing AI and ML right now. So it is definitely a value add because your thoughts are very fresh and your brain is still in a mode of learning the new technologies. Then that is going to be a value add for sure. So if a person who is working for 10 to 15 years, they have a different commitments like EMIs, family, this, that, and all the stuff, right? But for you guys, you are the fresh minds, you are the future of the country, right? So definitely you have a different perspective, and you will look at the world from the other side of the person's view. So that definitely makes a difference, and it will give you, or the AI and ML is going to open the doors for the new opportunities for the new generation kids. I am not boosting AI and ML for that matter. We have even other opportunities like even including your automated cars or self-driving cars or the driverless cars. Even if you look at the driverless cars concept, or you can sit in your office, you can turn off the AC which is running in your home. So all these things from the user's perspective very fancy, but if you closely go and observe, there's a lot of things which are really um, making the things work. And for that matter, if I ask you a simple question, you are using smartphones, right? So do you know how many number of lines of code which is running? So I am confidently say you cannot make a single step without writing or without running a code. By knowingly or unknowingly, you are moving some steps. In the sense, background there are a lot of things are happening. Like example, if you carry phone and if you move one place to another place, which is calculating the number of steps, it means it is internally calculating the distance which you took, right? So there is some code should be run. So software engineering is not only artificial intelligence and machine learning. I'm clearly saying, and keep that in mind, artificial intelligence means, or the software, sorry, software engineering means not only artificial intelligence and machine learning. There are a lot of other roles too, right? So if you want to become a web developer, or if you want to become a data scientist, or if you want to become a data engineer, right? So this particular session is going to be really helpful, right? So let's move on to the next. So what are the current trends in the software engineering? Especially, I think this particular terminology or whatever I'm presenting here in the screen is going to be little flashy and fancy stuff, but it's not going to be a fancy stuff anymore right after you go to second year, or the engineering graduates who are doing their second year or third year or final year of the engineering. So these terms are not new for them, right? Even this session is going to be really helpful who are even pursuing the engineering. Not necessarily you have to be a first year graduate, right? So if you look at in the market, you might heard about this concept called low code and no code. It means if you are not really interested in writing a number of lines of code, right? Oh, come on, I'm not interested to write the code. Is there any tool if I learn, if I will get a job into software industry? There are plenty of tools are available. Like example, Salesforce is one low code no code tool, right? MuleSoft is there. That is also one of the low code and no code tool, right? Then cloud computing. There are good amount of tools which are available, right? So the development, and one more thing is this word is very famous called microservices. Right now, microservices is an architectural style or a development pattern. It means instead of building the 40 stair building in one go, incrementally, or you construct piece by piece and assemble later. So that is in a nutshell. If you look at the microservices, it's going to be a piece by piece assembled, and they are going to contribute to a larger purpose basically. But definitely I am going to make these things very clear in my upcoming videos, right? But this particular video intention is to give you the crux or the intent how your software engineering means and how you are going to plan your next 4 years down the line. And the more important thing are the widely adapted programming languages right now in the market, or Java for sure. It's been a while in the market. It's been almost 30 years, which is dominating. And Python is the one more programming language from the last 4 to 5 years. Python is ranked number one widely adapted programming language, and JavaScript, and even JavaScript, the modified version is called as Python, sorry, TypeScript. And even from Google, there is a programming language that is also widely used in A and ML, that's called Go. Okay? So these are the a few programming languages which I listed here. And for sure, I think in your academics, Python is there. If you are aspiring to become an AML professional, data scientist or data engineer or data analyst, right? So Python is the core skill. And if you want to become a software engineer, which you want to develop an enterprise grade applications, then Java is one of the best programming language which you can work on, right? So, and for that matter, if you want to run any application on a browser based, then definitely JavaScript and the TypeScript, these are the essential skills that you require if you want to build an application for a browser based or the web based applications. Okay, so what skill that industry is expecting from a candidate, right? How you want to get ready for the industry, right? And especially data structures and algorithms or the problem solving skill. So why people are the engineers or the software engineers are expected to have a good analytical skills is basically we have a problem statement and you have to solve the problem. And if you probably, since you are doing the engineering, right, for solving a particular problem, we have a number of ways. There is not always a one route or one solution to solve a particular problem for a given city or state or country. There are a number of ways that you can reach, right? Similarly, if you want to address or if you want to solve a problem, every person has their own way of thinking to address the problem. So if you have, I mean, we have to adapt the best problem solution basically to solve the particular problem. What is the best solution, right? So in terms of the cost, in terms of the development, and for that matter, we have to take a lot of factors consideration while developing the application. That is the reason software developers should have good amount of analytical skills, right? So if you want to build a robust system, if you want to write a good code, right, and the foremost skill that should have is problem solving, right? And the main intention of the data structures and algorithm is to sharpen your brain, and those particular topics are give you an opportunity to think beyond your boundaries, right? It is not forcing, or it is not a burden on the student. Data structures and algorithms, even I feel during my studies, I felt it is very tough subject. Even I cleared data structures and algorithms and about marks, that's a different story. But data structures and algorithm is one key thing that you can focus more. uh, y- if you have good analytical skills, I'm pretty much sure you can learn any of the programming language. Programming language learning is, I think, as far as I concern, is it's not a big thing. It is all about learning some sort of syntax, right? See, suppose example, if you know language Hindi, and I deployed you in a different country, like in US, nobody talks Hindi for that matter. You should try to speak yourself slowly. You are going to start communicating with others, and eventually you are going to become the pro in even English also. Same thing is applicable to even programming language also. Nothing new here. If you go for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, then definitely you are going to be become a good programmer, right? And the most important thing is, once you start learning any programming language, I request to use the appropriate tools. So if you use the right tools, then definitely you love the program. So the similar, I mean, the feedback what I got from my family, friends, some students where I interacted with, right? So they feel very bad about Java programming language, especially during probably 10 years back, right? Why? If I ask the question, so it is very difficult to set up the path, class path, this, that, and everything. But it is not necessary, right? So it might be just lack of right tools not in place. But definitely in this, from this channel, I would like to give you the good tools which you are going to use down the line for your day-to-day activities. Okay, and one more thing, not only analytical skills, you should have the soft skills as well, and you have to articulate your thoughts in I mean, you have a beautiful idea, but you are not able to express that idea to make the others. If you are not making the others to understand your idea, then it is not making any sense. So even though you are very good in coding and analytical skills, if you don't have the soft skills and the communication skill, then it is going to be a problem. And from starting of your engineering itself, if you can focus some time on this area, it is not going to be a barrier during your campus interviews or during your interviews anywhere for that matter. Okay, so how, so this is the important part. Okay, so the crux of this session is how you are going to plan your 4 years, what you are going to do or what you are going to learn in your first year. In first year, try to learn the basics of the programming language. Like example, Python is one of the easy language. You can use this channel. Going forward, I am going to prepare a series of Python basics which are going to be useful for the students, for their academics, for their labs, and the people who are currently working not on coding, but they are interested towards coding, then definitely my sessions are going to be helpful. Okay, so for the engineering graduates, for that matter, first year is going to be your basics of the programming language. Like example, you choose one programming language, especially start with Python. It is pretty easy, and if you enroll for A and ML, so Python is must and should have skill. And second year, whatever you learn from the first year, right, start building a small projects. You visualize, you write a simple use case which is solving your problems, right? So try to create an application which is student management system, right? Or try to create an application, um, uh, attendance or the library management system, right? So small use cases, you really need not to build a production grade application which is accessed by the um, thousands of customers, right? You start with small steps. So so start building small use cases by applying your all your learnings. Okay. So, and in second year itself, from the basic Python, we have the advanced Python concepts, like example, NumPy, SciPy, and TensorFlow, Pytorch. So these are some of the advanced topics which are extensively used in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So try to understand what exactly those concepts and where we can leverage, what are the use cases which are built using these concepts. Okay. Now in third year, try to look at even more advanced concepts like frameworks are available. In Java we have Spring framework is there. For Python, Fast API is one of the framework if you want to develop a web based application, right? And try to understand the how a real world application is deployed in any of the cloud environment. For that matter, the cloud services which are offering for the 6 months to 1 year free subscription, so you can go and register yourself, play around with all your learnings, right? So in fourth year, whatever you learned, if you did some mini projects or the major projects, right? So try to keep that projects description inside GitHub, create your own portfolio, right? And try to take some mock interviews, right? So that way it will build the confidence. Try to build some sort of network which will give you a lot of confidence, and people can share their experiences towards the their journey, right? So all those things you can do. So okay, the 4 years roadmap is ready, but what are the tools and platforms which are available for the students, right? So if you are passionate towards the coding, then Lead Code and HackerRank. So these are the two places where you can start solving the problem. So these websites you can just simply log in. So those guys will give you some problem statements. You start solve the problem by using any of the programming language. Then you have the luxury to choose your favorite programming language, right? You can use Java, you can use Python. So the problem statement is there. You just solve the problem. It will give you the score. And HackerRank score and Lead Code score is definitely added advantage in your resume also. And make sure whenever you are trying to attempt any interview, try to add the Lead Code score in your resume. That will create a positive impression for the interviewers as well. And then GitHub and GitLab. So GitHub is basically, suppose example, right? In a real world application, there are a lot of folks are working together. Suppose example, I did some code, my fellow developer did some code, some other guy did some code. I need to club all the code which is written by all these fellows, right? So how you are going to manage this code? By using these tools. So start understanding, start collaborating, and my recommendation is to form a team from your class itself, form a group, create an application in GitHub, and parallelly you 3 or 4 people can start work, push your code into GitHub, and how the other people is going to take your changes and all this stuff you play around, right? It is not going to be a punishable offense anyhow, since you are learning, right? So GitHub is one of the must and should have skill, right? And then nowadays, 10 years back when I started my career, almost 14 years back I started my career as a Java developer, right? So during that time we don't have much information which is available, but you guys are very lucky. A lot of information which is available over internet, plenty of information is available. If you really interested, if you are keen to learn the things, there are a lot of information which is available over internet for the free. And if you want more quality content and you are not believing the free content is not worth, then you can spend some money, the basic money, right? At least from Udemy you can enroll for 500. It is not even the cost of a medium sized pizza. Okay. So you can enroll for the interested courses from Udemy, Upgrade, Coursera. There are a lot of online platforms. Of course, if you're not ready to spend the money, internet is very cheap nowadays, right? You can, if you really use internet and YouTube, you can find good content there. So you can explore and you can get the information there. And if you are an AI ML enthusiast, right, and even if you, I mean, probably for running the artificial intelligence and machine learning, it needs some sort of additional extra setup is there. Unlike Python and Java, AML is needed some extra configuration, extra effort should be there. So even that extra effort, if you want to get that for free, Google is providing a platform. AWS is providing some platform to run your AI, ML code for that matter, LLMs and things like that. Slowly you will understand all these terms. Don't worry about this, but it will give you the starting point, right? So then next. So choosing the right technology is also very important. Okay. So as far I concern, from my experience, um, almost I'm working from 14 years Java only. So Java is widely adapted. Wherever you go, Java is going to be definitely catch hold you. Okay. So my sincere advice, Java is going to be there in your academics. So pay some attention, and I'm going to create the Java full course content from the basics. For sure, you are going to enjoy that video. And Python, and if you want to become an AML specialist, then Python course will definitely help you. You try to focus on Java and Python. And the next most important skill is SQL, that is basically database, structured query language. Basically, the data is stored in the databases. It can be SQL database or no SQL database. I mean, the data is somewhere it is stored. You you write the code in Python, Java, apply some sort of artificial intelligence and machine learning, but at the end of the day you are going to apply all this logic on top of the data only, right? So how you are going to manage, how you are manipulate the data, so for that matter you should have the basic understanding on the SQL. And now one more thing is the industry is moving towards the reduce the cost of the organizations. This is called as operational cost reduction. So if you want to reduce, or if now olden days, probably 10 years or 15 years or 20 years back, so managing or starting a software company is a big deal, because if I want to start a software company, I need to put a large data center, I need to buy the servers with high configuration, I need to get the system administrator, this that, and lot of operational cost will be there. So that is the reason 15 or 20 years back, setting up a software company is a big deal. Only the people who have good amount of money, they are going to start the companies. But nowadays it is not like that, right? Even government is also providing some sort of platforms to for the startups, right? So for, I mean, to the point, basically, if you want to really reduce the cost, and if you have a beautiful idea but you don't know how to implement, or if you want to implement with minimal cost, probably you have to explore AWS or any cloud computing with Dockers and the containerization concept. So if you use the containerization concept, probably you can reduce the operational cost to some extent, right? And one more thing is, look at the market trends, how the market is moving towards, what is the current happening things. Initially they said artificial intelligence and machine learning. Now people are saying agentic AI, and some people are telling generative AI, right? There is that, there are a lot of things are happening. So try to build some network, right? And then look at the market, what is currently happening in the market. So based on that, you have to upskill yourself, right? So from my side, if you start your journey little early, then you really need not to stay back in the race. Basically, the current generation is with the uh, amount of people growing and the competition which is in the market, right? So if you start little early, then nothing like it. So even there is a I mean, early starting is, I would say, it is little easy, right? So, and one more thing, try to build the network, and instead of spending the time on Instagram reels and this that, if you try to create an account in LinkedIn, that will be a good platform or a networking site where you can find the working professionals. You can get some advice. You can look at what is happening in the market, right? How many number of contacts that you have in LinkedIn, that is really fetching. And this is not only for the engineering graduates, this is for the people who are currently working. So network building is very, very important. Nowadays, if you look at, right, if there are any openings in the organization, most of the openings will be filled by the internal reference. They really don't have the luxury to conduct a drive by calling so many people. If you call for the walk-ins, right, then it is very difficult to manage and these things because of the competition and other stuff. So that is the reason my sincere advice is to build the network and use the appropriate forums, like example LinkedIn. Keep your code in GitHub, and try to attend any workshop which is happening in your college or in nearby places within your organization, right? So there are a lot of meetups are happening within the cities, right? You try to attend the meetups to get the pulse of the industry, right? So technical events, and one more important thing is, start try to do some certifications. There are, even LinkedIn is offering free certification programs. Try to do that, especially for the students. They really don't want to invest so much money on certifications, but for the students especially, lot of companies, they are offering the free certification programs. Try to look at those opportunities and do some sort of certifications, and don't do the certification just for the sake of getting a certificate. Do some R&D, learn the things, and then do certification, right? So without an R&D, and if you did um, the certification, I don't believe it is going to be a worth. Okay, so with that, we'll try to uh, the summarize thing of this event. The video is to start early, start focusing from the first year itself. In the first year, focus on fundamentals of the programming language. In the second year, you start understand the advanced concepts, like example frameworks, cloud computing, how to deploy an application and things like that. From third year, try to do the major projects. In the second year itself, you can build the small use cases, but in third year, try to build the major projects and try to keep all your code in GitHub. In fourth year, try to attend some meetups, take some mock interviews, and did some certification. That really helps you. And one more thing, I'm not boosting only artificial intelligence and in machine learning, and for that matter, even software engineering also, right? If you're really interested to do software engineering, then there is a lot of opportunities which are available for sure. Okay, and at the same time, it is not only the course which is giving you the best career options. So don't um, join if you're not really interested, by force of your parents or by force of your relatives, right? So nobody influence your education. I sincerely request, if you really wanted to become a good software engineer or the engineer for that matter, you choose whatever you are interested in, then automatically you can put your efforts. Okay, okay, so with that intent, we are going to conclude this video for this time, and hopefully we are going to meet again with more content with good information. Stay tuned, and I am going to create a programming languages, especially I am pro in Python and Java. I am going to create the videos on Python and Java, if possible some other areas, but I don't know whether it is going to be relevant for the engineering students. But definitely I am going to come up with a lot of interesting videos. I hope I did not wasted your time. Definitely I assure the going forward videos are going to be short and sweet, and you are going to thoroughly enjoy with the content. Thank you for watching.